Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1163. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. Trash is at the curb. It's just trash week. I was so excited. I woke up this morning and I thought, yes, it's NFL draft day. No, wrong. Tomorrow is NFL draft day. So I went grocery shopping yesterday and I don't do frozen pizza or brats on the grill. I think it's supposed to be not. I don't know. We're having one of those fake springs, fake winter. Weather doesn't know what it's gonna do. I think it's gonna be colder. Maybe. I think a cold spell is coming in. It was actually pretty nice yesterday in the mid 60s. It's only 34 degrees right now. 55 today. Okay, not bad. I thought it was going to be in the 40s. So 55 today, 60, 58, Saturday, 78 degrees. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I got some brats. I got some kraut. Love me some brats and kraut. You know what really grinds my gears? Scammers. But that's not what I'm going to talk about right now. We're going to talk about scammers today. They really grind my gears. But what else grinds my gears? Oatmeal raisin cookies. I love oatmeal cookies. Why does every cookie maker have to fuck them up with raisins? We had Passover dinner the other night, and my mother-in-law's friend bought this giant tub of oatmeal raisin cookies. They were on sale. He's like, they were on sale for 59 cents. Okay. What are they, moldy? What's the deal here? So I took a bunch. I don't hate raisins. Okay, maybe I do. I highly dislike raisins. I'll eat raisins. Again, I'll eat any. Put it in front of me. Tell me to eat it. I will, mostly out of spite. Oh, you don't think I'm going to eat this? Oh, I'll eat the shit out of this. You don't think I'll eat this? Oh, I'll eat this. But I don't prefer raisins, and I especially don't prefer them in my oatmeal cookies. Oatmeal cookies are so good. And then you mess them up with raisins. Ugh. It's like, ooh, this oatmeal cookie is so good. Shit, a raisin. Why? Why? Is it like to bind the cookie? It like is a regular oatmeal cookie, is it not good without raisins in it? No. Damn good without raisins in it. I don't know. What's the purpose of raisins in an oatmeal cookie? Can anybody answer me that? That's a good Google search. Philly Joe says oatmeal and raisin cookies. Blech. Dan's dealing with something I can't even pronounce. Oatmeal raisin cookies. I went grocery shopping yesterday. There's a new frozen pizza in town. Now, if you come to Wisconsin, we are the frozen pizza capital of the world, and which is awesome for a frozen pizza lover like myself. I found I love the local pub pizzas. We got lots of matzah, which I think is kind of like all over the place, not just Wisconsin and Illinois, but all over the Midwest at least. So I was in the frozen pizza section, and they have like a whole new freezer. They have a whole new freezer of frozen pizzas that I'd never heard of. Draft House. They now carry what was my my new favorite frozen pizza from that. It was the original Tombstone from here in Wisconsin. They carry that now at my local Pick and Save. And they also have Draft House. I'd had the other, I've had a few of those pizzas that I can't even remember the name. But Draft House, which I think is out of Oshkosh or somewhere, So I'm going to try that. And Sean, who I think lives, he might own the Pick and Save. I'm pretty sure he sleeps there at night. He's like there, like every time I'm there, he's at the cash register. I think he knows me now. It's been 9 years of going there. I think he knows me. And he doesn't have to tell me that he dresses up the breakfast burritos anymore. He's told me that 113 times. He'll start, you know what I like to do with these? Yes, I know exactly what you've told me 113 times. So he no longer does that. So when I had the frozen pizza, he's like, "Oh, Draft House." And I'm like, "Yeah. Have you had it?" And he's like, "No, we just started carrying it last week." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'll have to give you the report. It looks damn good." Oh, let's get to Dan's comment down here. Not the one where he's suffering with something. So Dan says, "I really miss Tillamook country ice cream. Peanut butter and chocolate, based in Oregon and sold on the West Coast. Best I've ever had." I love to peruse the ice cream section, but I rarely buy. I don't know. I have this like. The funny thing is, and this is just because I'm so freaking weird. I'm so freaking weird. It's like I'm the classic. I'll order a double freaking Whopper, or what's the double quarter pounder with cheese and a large fry, but I'm watching my weight. Give me a Diet Coke instead. That's how I am in the ice cream section. It's like, well, you pick your battles sometimes. It's like, I don't know if I want the real good ice cream. I'm going to get this freaking sugar-free, fat-free, 100-calorie thing. So I need to experience. Maybe I should. Maybe I don't think I should experience better ice cream. Although I have been looking for banana ice cream. I love banana ice cream. I love banana shakes. I get that from my dad. That was like his go-to. But banana ice cream. It's not a flavor. I'm sure there's not people banging on the doors wanting to buy banana ice cream, except for weirdos like me. They had I picked up some last time. It's like a banana with the vanilla wafers in it. The first time I had it was awesome. The last pint or whatever it comes in, it was not good. It was below average. Do you like peanut butter and banana sandwiches? No. Do I wouldn't say I dislike them. I guess I haven't had one in a while. It's been a while. I've got bananas and I got peanut butter. I had to buy both. We were so low on groceries. We always have like 3 things. We always have actually more than 3 things. We always in our kitchen have Diet Coke, cream cheese, and peanut butter. Those 3 things never go out of stock in our kitchen. But they had gone out of stock in our kitchen this week. My wife joked after we take home all these Tupperwares of leftovers from Monday night. Well, we don't have to go grocery shopping another week. It's like we can't live on leftovers all week. And I can't eat this I need something for breakfast. So I knew we were in dire straits when we were out of both cream cheese and peanut butter, because we were not completely out of peanut butter. My wife gets this nasty ass, it's like from Jif peanut butter, but it's like fat-free, extra smooth. It doesn't taste good. It's the texture of like poop. Ugh. I like super chunky. But just like my waistline. And then my wife texted me and I'm out of cream cheese. So I had to like put butter on a bagel. Like, what the fuck? my wife texted me and she's like, "Hey, can you do me a favor and get some Diet Coke?" And I'm like, it's time to go grocery. Okay, we're out of Diet Coke. We're out of peanut butter. We're out of cream cheese. I think our sour cream went bad. My wife asked me the other night, she was gonna make, I think she was gonna make like fajitas or something. But we didn't have sour. We had sour cream, but it was expired. And she goes, "My wife and I vary differently when it comes to expired condiments." She's like, "Oh, it's still good." And I'm like, "Nope, not going to do it." And she's like, "This sour cream, it's outdated, but it passes the smell test." And I'm like, "Nope." I'm like, "I will not eat that sour cream. You will take that chance, and if it makes you sit on the toilet, that was your decision." So she thought about it and she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to sit on the toilet." So we threw the sour cream away. I am like, not milk. Usually milk spoils before the expiration date or the sell by date or whatever. That's, at least that's what I've experienced. And speaking of milk, I've got this mushroom coffee that I still haven't tried. And I think my fear is, like, I just love coffee. And I don't want to try mushroom coffee because you don't drink as much. The part of what I love about coffee is that I can just sip on it throughout the entire morning. And I do drink a whole pot, and that's part of the reason why I want to go to mushroom. Like, I probably shouldn't drink a whole pot of coffee. And I want to dress it up, but I just don't know how. And it's like, do I make it in milk? No, it's coffee. Like, yeah, I guess that's kind of like a latte, but so I'm like, maybe almond milk. So I got almond milk. And almond milk does have a longer lifetime than regular cow's milk. Because usually we'll get like, it's not a gallon. We certainly not a gallon. I don't even think it's a half, maybe I guess a half gallon. We get a half gallon and like we throw half of it away. We are not milk drinkers. But at night, a glass of milk would be nice. But it's like, it's milk. But almond milk, vanilla almond milk, I might drink the shit out of it. So I did pick up some vanilla almond milk. And maybe I'll try this. I need to try the mushroom coffee though, because I spent like $40 on it. And it's like a small bag. Like a normal bag of coffee like this, say Dunkin', would be like $7 for this size bag. Maybe not even $7. I don't know. Everything's expensive now, but $40 for this fucking mushroom coffee. Okay, we're gonna get to the chat, but first I want to address George's comment. Will shroom coffee help with my bad back? Threw that shit out picking up a towel this morning. I know that feeling. That sucks, but I do know what could help with your back. The Shakti mat. Somebody in the chat long ago said, do a Shakti mat. I haven't had any back issues because sitting in this chair, if I'm leaned over, typing, adding cards to my eBay store, sitting all day shipping in the other room, all of a sudden it's like, I get a stiff back. With the Shakti mat, this is not a commercial, but I have not had any back problems since I started using the Shakti mat. And I actually haven't used it in a while, but I probably should have. I lost my train of thought. Used it after the card show this past weekend. So try Shakti mat. They're really cheap. They're like $25 on Amazon. SHAKTI, Shakti mat. I need to get an affiliate link for Amazon. Let's put up a banner. Speaking of links, check out my eBay store. Link in the description, 99centcards.com. I did add a bunch of autos from the most recent pickup. These are like all $5 autographs. Some are a little more, but like this Bowman Antoine Kelly blue first chrome auto, $5 in my eBay store. If you buy 7 or more at regular price, you'll save 25% off. I keep going through. I'm going to sneeze here in a second. I got one more coming, I think. But I was going through some of the boxes last night watching the Cubs game. I picked up one box and it was just like miscellaneous. So like most of the boxes of the good stuff are top loaded. And I go through this miscellaneous box where I'm just expecting a bunch of Bowman commons. And I'm going through, and there's some refractors in there. And all of a sudden, like, hey, there's a first Chrome Jackson Holiday. I'm like, oh, now I know he's not playing very well, but it's still better than a common. There were 3 first Chrome Jackson Holidays in there. There were 3 Jackson Holiday draft night inserts in just this one miscellaneous box. So I'm still finding some good stuff just where I didn't think I would find good stuff. Now, that Jackson Holiday first Chrome, if I would have found it 2 weeks ago, probably would have been a little nicer. I'm not sure where his prices are at with his start in Baltimore. But I found a first Chrome Gunnar Henderson, a couple Michael Bush first Chromes. So there's some good stuff. So keep looking out at my eBay store. Make sure you're following my eBay store because I'm adding, especially this week, I'll be adding new stuff. Not as much as I would like because I'm shipping, which, hey, isn't that the point? Shipping, that means I made the money. Listing just means you might make the money. So, but the two go hand in hand. Yesterday, I did surpass my goal, my daily sales goal. So in the month of April, I think I've only fell short twice. And one of those was the other day where I felt like $3 short of my daily goal. So everything's up. My sales are up. My volume is up. My impressions are up. My page views are up. My sales conversion is up. Everything is up in my eBay store. April 2024 looking to be the best sales month that I've ever had on eBay. Mr. Archer's in the house. Good morning. David is here. What's happening? Victor's in the house. Go Cubs. What a game last night. Fun game. Cubs win. Took a 5-0 lead in the first inning. It's like, oh man, this is going to be a high scoring game. And it ended up only being like, what was it? 6-5, 6-2, something like that. Christian, good morning. Donald's in the house. Good morning. Collects. Ted, what's going on? Brian's in the house. Good morning. James says, I'm sorry, but if people pay friends and family to guys they never met, so stupid. Yes, we're talking about scammers. Beware of scammers. The easiest way to not get scammed, pay PayPal goods and services. When people pay me, I'm a business account, so everything goes goods and services, which kind of sucks for like when I take prepayment for the card show because, I'm not going to charge them a PayPal fee. Like that's, I just eat the $2, the fee, $2.50, or I think it's I think it might only be $1.50. So I get $48.50 because PayPal gets $1.50 from the Madison Card Show. But please, and not just everywhere, anywhere, goods and services. There are exceptions. Like if you're at a card show now, there's also if you're setting up as a dealer at a card show and you're doing friends and family, just beware that PayPal could lock your shit up because they see all these transactions as friends and family. So if you are accepting friends and family, just be cognizant that PayPal is like you're trying to circumvent the system. This isn't from your Aunt Ruth paying you back for the pizza you ordered. When you start doing a lot of transactions, they'll shut that shit down. So just be careful. Just do goods and services. I mean, I know people want to avoid the fees, but guess what? You're using a platform. Those fees are to feed the platform. Nothing is free in life. So just do goods and services. Philly Joe's in the house. Good morning. Dan is here. What's up, Dan? Philly Joe says oatmeal and raisin cookies for the win. Blah. Raisins. Johnny Boy Cards, what's up? Good morning. Dan, okay, we're going to try it. Dan says, I'm dealing with enterocolitis. Ooh, I know what the root word of colitis is. I feel for you. Sorry you're dealing with that. Brian says, cinnamon raisin toast with butter is the bomb. No, terrible. My fam hates raisins, and I would only buy if buy one, get one free, which is too much for one man. Cinnamon raisin toast. Ugh. Raisins just ruin it. Raisins ruin it. Mr. Archer says just a plain oatmeal cookie, highly underrated. Absolutely. There's always raisins in it. Why? 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 Can anybody explain to me why raisins in an oatmeal cookie is a good idea? You're eating the cookie for the oatmeal, not the raisin. At least I am, and I would think most people are. They don't make raisin cookies. Like, they don't sell raisin, like, instead of chocolate chips, raisin cookies. Like, here's a cookie, and we're just going to put raisins in it. No, that would suck. Nobody would eat that. But for some reason, we have to put oatmeal and raisins together and ruin a good oatmeal cookie. Enterocolitis. Card Hobbyist says, good morning. I'm Nigerian royalty here to offer an opportunity of a lifetime. I only need your bank account and routing numbers plus your social security number for proof of identity. Free raisins included. Neil's in the house. Good morning. Sipping coffee and shipping. Oh, yeah. Here's what I would like to do. I'm kind of jealous of you guys because you get to sip coffee and ship and listen to me bitch about oatmeal raisin cookies. When I hit end, there's no live stream to listen to unless it's Dateline. They have a YouTube live stream and it's like watch reruns of Dateline. That gets boring. So I am a little jealous that there's no hobby live stream on at 9 a.m. Dan says, I really miss, we talked about that. Tillamook country. Somebody else agreed. Tillamook County. Mr. Archer says, Tillamook is the best ice cream. We have it here in Tennessee. I wonder if we have it here in Wisconsin. Tillamook, because now people are raving about Tillamook. Tillamook ice cream. There's a really good here in Wisconsin. I mean, this is I would think Wisconsin would be the ice cream capital. Tillamook. Because it's the dairy state. It looks really good. Find. Search. Hang tight. We're loading all the Tillamook near you. This may take a moment. Oh, you can't see my screen. Hey, you know what? They have Tillamook. They have Tillamook ice cream at my pick and save that I just was shopping at yesterday. Maybe I'll have to try it out. But we have there's a really good ice cream here in Wisconsin. Actually, there's a lot. Draft House has a pizza called the Sausage Chaser. Always gives me a chuckle. I'm not sure what type I got. It was like all over the place. It was not the Sausage Chaser. Johnny M, good morning. There's a sucker born every minute and 2 to take them. Right. Brian Wolf says, I want to start on collects selling also, but will it take down eBay listings or does it need to be different cards? If so, that will severely limit the amount of cards I list. I would imagine, because this is just, I don't know if Ted's still in here to answer that question, but this is just based on how I know things roll. I highly doubt it will take it down off eBay because collects is not linked to eBay. The other bulk lister using AI is Chronazio. They do have they're connected to eBay, like the eBay connector. Right now, I don't think collects is connected to eBay. Now, that could change in the future. They could get a deal and that could work. But I'm assuming right now, no, it's going to be completely separate. So you'd have to have separate inventories, or you would just have to go delete it off one platform. So it's not going to work hand in hand. That's my assumption. So I don't know if Ted's here to answer that. Dan says, do you like peanut butter and banana sandwiches? Those two go well together. I've heard of it, but I don't think I'm sure I've tried it at some point. Good morning, Kyle. He's cruising Cruising the highways and byways. Christian, Ray's Ice Cream, Royal Oak, Michigan, has banana bread ice cream. Fantastic. Ooh. I wonder if I can find Ray. That sounds like it's a regional thing. Because for some reason, Tillamook sounded Ray's Ice Cream, Royal Oak, Michigan. Oh, shit. I think Ray's Ice Cream. Let's do a finder. I love it when companies have finders on there, like find our product, where to buy Ray's. Looks like it's only like the Detroit area. Yep. Duke's in the house. Good morning. Max Fried trying to fix his ERA from his first start this season. Yeah, he had a complete game. Good start for Max. Dan would love to try that. George says, I enjoy grilled peanut butter and banana sandwiches. It's like a grilled cheese, but with peanut butter and banana. That sounds kind of good. That sounds like you would need something. You would need some milk to wash that down, though. Because I'm just thinking of even just the peanut butter and banana on its own. Brian says, open 3 packs of Topps March Madness. Bowman, you yesterday pulled of 99 Caitlin and some good autos, still losing at least $100 after eBay fees with no discounts. Took an hour plus to list them all. Well, that's a bummer. That seems like a high price. 3 packs or 3 boxes? There's Collects with the question. We're adding eBay sync and inventory management soon. Hey! That sounds cool. For now, I would suggest just setting aside cards to sell only on Collect so you don't risk double selling. There you go. But I like that. eBay sync and inventory management coming soon. Brian says, should have taken her to play golf instead. I've not had the mushroom coffee yet. I keep thinking, like, during the day, it's like, I need an energy boost. I'm going to have some mushroom coffee. It's like, maybe tomorrow. Zach says you should set a goal to sip that mushroom coffee while you record a nostalgia rip. Wife drinks mushroom coffee once in a while. It is fine. Brian drinks kombucha. They make mushroom elixirs also. Taste like straight ass. Well, that's not selling it for me. George says, will shroom coffee? Oh, we talked about that. Get a Shakti mat. Brian says, no funny feelings either. Dan says, you couldn't pay me to drink that. Dan doesn't like mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Card scammers may be bad, but dairy scammers are the worst. Card Hobbyist says, if your milk is going bad before the date, it's probably experiencing too much warmth or someone is sipping from the jug. Well, I can assure you nobody is sipping from the jug in this house because neither me nor my wife is sipping from the jug. I don't know. Maybe it's a warmth. I don't know. Let's see. Dan wants to know, to peeps, where the hell have you been? George says I can buy one on Temu. There you go. Good morning, Brian. Happy hump day. Peeps has been in Minnesota. S-H-A-K-T-I. S-H-A-K-T-I. Shakti mat. Brian says shocking mat on Amazon is pet items to keep off couch. Shakti. S-H-A-K-T-I. James says, who's Antoine Kelly, the blue auto? He was a pitcher. This is an older. That's why it's $5. It's a first chrome blue auto for $5. That's why you don't know who it is. 2019. But the thing is, if that was, some people are like, I'm not going to pay $5 for Antoine Kelly. He sucks. But if I was a Brewers collector, million Brewers, I didn't have an Antoine Kelly first. I'd be like, that's a damn good deal. I'll buy that blue auto. Dan says, I thought he used it for his back. Good morning, Harlan. James says holiday chromes are under 20. Just sold one for 17. Hey, that's 7. That's 3 times 17 that I didn't expect. I didn't expect to have any first chrome holidays in this collection. Brian says his blood pressure is down. John says my nether regions are up. Vegas does that to you. Sal Dougie, good morning. Dan's in the house. What's up? The Bubblegum Hall of Fame. Bubblegum cardboard. Go sports teams. I'm intrigued by the name of that channel, Bubblegum Hall of Fame. George says, easiest way to not get scammed is not to listen to an autograph promoter offering Tom Brady autos. But George ain't wrong. Brian says, Korean, I must be wrong on the name. He's talked about humans. Yeah, Shakti Mat is definitely not for dogs. Dan has an Aunt Ruth. I do not have an Aunt Ruth, but I had a Grandma Ruth. My wife did too. Brian says, I say these are cash prices. It's 10% more for any other payment form. Net to me. See, I hate net to me. Some of the dealers, when they do pay PayPal, they're like, I'll cover. They're like, hey, I can't do friends and family. I'm like, no, it's a business account. It only accepts goods and services. They're like, okay, I'll cover your fees. So some dealers will pay $52 or, $102, whatever their table cost is. But I don't expect anything more. But that's a good, it's a processing payment. Let's see. But here's the thing. It's a service. It's a service for me. Because I don't have to, it's for safeguards. Usually I charge, it's basically for, ease of use for me. So I don't have to collect from 100 different dealers on Saturday of the show. But also, it prevents flaky dealers that are like, I think I can set up. Well, you got to pay to commit. You're in that way. You're committed. So it's safeguards against that stuff. So I will eat $1.50 for those safeguards. And for PayPal, it's you're using their service. They are holding the money for you, and you can get paid anytime. So it's using PayPal is not a cash deal. You're using their service. It's a service. And that's why they'll shut your shit down if you take advantage. What's the word I'm looking for? Abuse the system. Brian says plain oatmeal cookie with weed. Yeah. John says I have the same dilemma with banana bread. They always put walnuts in it. It's some real bullshit. See, I am not as upset with the walnuts in banana bread. I love walnuts. But I do agree with you. Sometimes I just want a good, soft banana bread. And then there's walnuts. It's like, ooh, but this, and sometimes you get this solid piece of banana bread with no walnuts. And it's like, oh, that's really good. And the next bite, there's 2 walnuts. And it's like, but I really like that banana bread bite better than the walnuts. You like walnuts? Go eat some walnuts. Put some on the side. I'm with John here. Banana bread. Keep it banana. Dan says, did you buy any of the Z Folio LX portfolios yet? No, I have not. I'm still debating on what to do. I haven't really dove into my organization yet. I'm sorting. I've been sorting Cubs here and there, but I'm not quite there. I say I'm not quite there. It's probably going to be a while. I get these hairs up my ass. And it's usually around spring training because that's when I buy a new Padfolio to put my autographs to transfer them, transport them back home. So they're not in the scrapbook, holders. And then it just by the end of April, it's I'll wait till next year. Zach and Porter in the house. Raisins are often added to a bowl of oatmeal so it carries over to the cookie. Settle down, shroom boy, but I don't like it. I don't put raisins in my oatmeal. Who the fuck puts oatmeal or raisins in their oatmeal? Psychos and serial killers do. Max thinks oatmeal raisin cookies are great. Oatmeal by itself is like sadness. No, it's not. Oatmeal by itself is deliciousness. Andy Max says, I love people who whine about PayPal fees and then get ripped off paying friends and family and expect PayPal to do something to help them. Right. Yes. Thank you, Andy. Max says, we have the chocolate shop in Culver's. Don't need anything else. 2 fantastic choices. God, I am completely drawing a blank. It's not chocolate shop. What's best ice cream in Wisconsin? It's a dairy. And I can't think of the name. Of course, there's the Babcock is another one, good one. Babcock in the that's in the uh, Kilwins. It's a good one. Oh man, it's a dairy. Best ice cream dairy. It's a dairy. I think they might have made those WWF ice cream bars back in the early 90s. And they don't make those, but they still make ice cream. Okay, I can't find it. Damn it. I figured it'd be like on the top of the search, but it's just doing the ice cream stores. Dan says the top 5 milk production states in 2022 were California, Wisconsin, Idaho, Texas, and New York. Christian says Moomer's ice cream out of Traverse City, Michigan. Phenomenal. Michael Renicke's in the house. Brian says peanut butter and mayo sandwich. Haven't had since I was 7. There's probably a reason for that. It sounds disgusting. I bet Shane likes those. Peanut butter and mayo. Doesn't sound appetizing to me. Johnny M says you can now import up to 3,000 listings from eBay to Mercari, making my life easier. I've never sold on Mercari. I've never sold. I have at least one dealer who does some Mercari. I don't think he does much action on there, but I've just kind of stayed away. John says, looking forward to the day where all the companies in the industry bundle and I don't have to be bothered hobbying anymore. Max says, banana bread ice cream. Give me that expired sour cream instead. Ugh. Banana bread ice cream. Sounds delicious. That dude from Duryea, what's up? Inventory manager for eBay and other sites is something I've been curious about for a while. John says, Ranger Suarez pitched a complete game, which, by the way, I sold one of the first Chrome autos I sold last night. Ranger Suarez sold it for $7.50. People acting like Max Fried is special. Hopefully his parents put a lawn sign out celebrating him sticking around for 9 innings. There's not too many. How many complete games were there in 2023? How many complete games were pitched? It's going to fill it out for me. 30. There were only 34 complete games in all of 2023. 34. How many complete games were pitched in 1973? Andy Messersmith pitched 12 complete games on his own in 1973. And there were only 34 in all of baseball last season. Andy Messersmith with 12. Carl Morton pitched 8 complete games. Don Wilson pitched 9 in 1973. That's 17. That's 29 right there between 3 pitchers in 1973. John says Bowman Chrome had a numbered Georgia Amore card this year. Virginia Tech player with a Virginia Cavs logo on the front. Boo. Zach and Porter says soon and ASAP, 2 phrases that mean something different to everyone, so it means nothing to all. Amen to that. Amen to that. In fact, this reminds me of my radio days. So when I worked in radio, you work in small market radio, you do a little bit of everything. Sometimes they even bring you in for sales pitches. But I was on the on-air side and you would do commercial production. So the salespeople would be like, I need this as soon as possible, which to the salespeople meant I need it like an hour ago. To me, that means I don't really need it. So when I saw deadlines, ASAP went to the bottom of the pile. The top of the pile was what had to be done today. So I guess it wouldn't be, because sometimes there was stuff that I don't need this until next Tuesday. It's like, okay, that can wait. I don't need this until Friday. Okay, that can wait. This needs to be done today. This needs to be done by tomorrow. So ASAP was just kind of somewhere in there. So it'd be the end of the day. It's kind of like these people that 2 days or a day later, when are you going to ship my card? Well, you just bought it yesterday. I have 3 business days handling time. I get 5 messages a day. When's my card going to ship? It's going to ship within 3 business days. Sometimes it doesn't ship until the 3rd business day, but it's still on time from the agreement when you purchase the card. If you need your card today, buy from somebody else. You're not going to get day of shipping or next day shipping from my store. It's just how it works. That's my business. So the ASAP on my commercial production forms, that would just go to the bottom. Okay, what needs to be done today and maybe even tomorrow? And then ASAP. They'll come, the sales guy will come at the end of come to the 2:00 in the afternoon. Hey, where's that commercial? I'm like, what commercial? The Nelson's clothing commercial. I put ASAP on it. When do you need it? Well, I need it by 3:00 today. Well, why didn't you put, I need this by 3:00 today? Well, I put ASAP on it. I'm like, well, ASAP doesn't mean the same thing to me as it does for you. Deadlines, dates, be specific. ASAP doesn't mean shit. Soon as possible, soon doesn't mean shit. If you need it today, put today. I need it today. If you need it ASAP, you are not going to get it because we have different definitions of that term. Neil says, nothing like a peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, a fluffer nutter. You know, I hadn't had a fluffer nutter since I was a kid. And I don't know, I saw something on the internet or I don't know, maybe TV. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get some marshmallow fluff and I'm going to have a fluffer nutter. And I had one and it just wasn't that good. My 40-year-old taste buds are not quite the same as they were when I was 10. When I was 10 years old, I would drink the shit out of Mountain Dew. Today, I take one sip and spit it out. Tastes like shit. Fluffernutter doesn't taste like shit. Doesn't taste like shit, but I was disappointed. Didn't taste like it did when I was 10 years old. Johnny M says, seem to be moving a lot of 23 Ginter and 24 tops lately. You know, it's funny you mentioned this because my Topps Heritage sales were the commons were not moving as quickly as I thought. I thought, boom, at the start, as soon as I listed them, they would be moving like crazy. Now, the variations, the errors, the short prints, all of that, the inserts, those sold like crazy the first 2 days that I listed. Now I'm selling the base like crazy. People are coming in, filling their sets. I think it helped when I dropped the price to 99 cents. And I'm seeing a lot of like I'm seeing volume sales because people are now filling their sets out. And instead of paying $2 a card, they only pay 99 cents. If they're buying 7 or more, they get a quarter off of that price with my 25% discount. John says, my county is the mushroom capital of the country. Corners of the area smell like a porta pot. As usual, Hobby thinks they're the only people that have to incur costs. None of them pay 100% of their taxes, and a small transaction fee drives them bonkers. That's a really good point. And I see it at card shows with dealers complaining about the prices of tables, which largely haven't changed in 30 years. I was talking to a customer at the Janesville show a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about table prices, and I'm like, yeah, it's funny. Like you raise the price of a table $10 and some dealers just have a fit. And, but I'll have other dealers that say I'd pay $100 per table. And it's like, well, okay, you can, if you want, help me out a little bit. But this guy, he's like, I was setting up at a show in Rockford back in the early 90s, and it was $50 a table because my buddy and I would split it $25 a piece. And I'm like, yeah. And like $50 in this area is still deemed as one of the higher priced shows. You know, I think most of the shows are between 35 and 50 for the one-day shows. So, and back in the 90s, you set up and you were probably making a couple $100 at most. On average. Now today, probably 1,000, looking, across the board is what they're bringing in. So, some people complain over the extra $10, $20, and they're selling $3,000 in stuff. It's like, okay, how about this? How about I just charge you 10% of what you make today? How about that? It's only 10%. That's cheaper than eBay fees. I think I'm onto something. Then you're going to have people, like John says, they're not going to report 100% of their earnings like they do on their tax form, but they're going to complain about 2.9% PayPal fees. George says, just bought a Shakti mat. Yes, George, welcome to the club. If it doesn't help, I'm going to ask you for a refund. John says, my teeth need a break sometimes. Nuts belong on your chin, not in your mouth. Card Hobbyist says, but the walnuts make it chunky, and Bo already stated he likes the chunky. I do. I like the super chunky peanut butter. I like nuts in the banana bread. That's what she said. I tend to think things backwards, so they end up on the forehead. Kyle cringes when he hears or sees people drink Diet Coke. The aspartame in it is shutting down your organs with every sip. More raisins, less Diet Coke. My wife drinks too much Diet Coke. She drinks a lot of Diet Coke. I drink a Diet Coke on occasion. Sometimes I just need a break from coffee, water, and beer. So I did. I went heavy yesterday on beverages. I went beverage heavy. And so I bought no beer, though. I bought ginger ale. Ginger ale reminds me of grandma. You know, every grandma had ginger ale in the fridge. I had ginger ale, vitamin water, regular bottled water, Diet Coke. I think that's it. Just those 4 beverages, I think. Oh, and the almond milk. I guess that's a beverage, and almond milk. I was going to comment on something regarding beverages, and now I can't remember. Oh, I do know. I read an article, and there would have been another additional beverage, but I read an article. And everything you read on the internet has to be true. It was like the top 10 unhealthiest beverages. And like 3 of the top 10 spots were like beverages that I thought were healthy. You know, those naked drinks or Bolt House Farms, like fruit smoothies. I thought those were healthy. Apparently, they're terrible. They are unhealthy. So I would get that, like, I need a healthy drink. Well, apparently that's not the case. Babcock, great ice cream. UW Dairy, not what I was thinking of, but I think this is what I think Shep's. Was Shep's what I was thinking about? I thought there was another one, but Shep's is one. Shep's is one, yes. Mark says, just hopped on in time for oatmeal talk. How far back are we? 7:37. Oh, we're only 10 minutes behind. I put peanut butter, flax seeds, and cinnamon in mine. Good for movement, if you know what I mean. He means pooping. That stuff is good for bowel movements. That sounds like a good oatmeal, though. Bradley's in the house. Happy anniversary, Aaron Rodgers. 1 year ago, you became a Jet. Card Hobbyist, Freed's game was also a, quote, Maddox. George says pitches, and I get, does that mean like 80 pitches or something? 90 pitches? George says pitchers got to be willing to throw more than 42 pitches a game in order to throw complete games. But it's not even up to the pitcher. Most pitchers would be like, I want to pitch a complete game, but organizations say, no, you are made to pitch 6. You can only pitch 60 pitches. That's the way the game has gone. It's not up to the pitchers. I bet 99% of pitchers would like to throw complete games, except for that one guy last year. He's bought into all the nerd analytics stuff. Who was that guy? George Kirby, I think. Was that who it was? He said he should have been pulled sooner. So everybody but George Kirby wants to throw complete games. Dad Dude from Duryea. All the nut and raisin talk has me singing Bungle in the Jungle. I am not familiar with that. Mark says Tom Seaver pitched 9 straight complete games in 1969. The Amazons. Max says, if something says ASAP, do it before you do anything else. That's weird. No, that does not mean shit to me. If you need it as soon as possible, and if that means right now, you need to put, I need this. It's almost 8 a.m. If you need it, like right now, you put, I need this by 9 a.m. today or by 8 a.m. today. And that will put it in front of the line. ASAP, back of the line. Good morning, Brian. What's happening? Card Hobbyist says the problem with ASAP is the word possible. That is subjective. Yes. So is the word soon. Johnny M says you have the real Shakti mat or a knockoff. Amazon has the real ones at 81, 80. So mine must be a knockoff because mine was like $25. Tom Seaver is a god. Zach says, for example, Bo will talk about scammers ASAP. ASAP to me is an hour into the show. Possible becomes when it becomes possible for him to focus on that topic and not the sparrows. Yes, I haven't seen any of my birds this morning. The red-bellied, what are they called? I can't think of it. Grosbeaks? I think that's who's nesting up there. Max says, I've never heard someone else define that acronym differently. As soon as possible. As soon as possible. As soon as possible is subjective. As soon as possible to you and as soon as possible to me mean different things. Because as soon as possible to me might be end of day. As soon as possible to you might be in 5 minutes. If you need it in 5 minutes, tell me. I need this in 5 minutes. If you come back, if you need a Nelson's clothing ad, which is, by the way, a real business, John Nelson runs it, amazing business. If you need a suit in Macomb, Illinois, or in that Western Illinois region, go shop at Nelson's Clothing. Great guy, great family, wonderful business, great suits. And I produced Nelson's Clothing commercials. That was one of the commercials. If you need your Nelson's Clothing ad, like, hey, I've got a meeting, you come to me, you communicate. This is that we're using an example of radio broadcasting. What's the key to radio broadcasting? Communication. If you have a meeting with John Nelson at 10 a.m. this morning and it's 8 a.m. and you're like, hey, you as the salesperson come back to me, instead of just putting it on a piece of paper and writing ASAP, and then I get to it, I may not see it till 10 a.m. And I see it at 10 a.m. ASAP. Oh, okay. Well, this one's due by the end of the day. I need to get to this one first. You come back to me and you say, hey, I have a meeting with John Nelson at 10 a.m. this morning, and I want to run him this commercial. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll put this at the top of the line. I'll do this right now. Or I'll do this after my current task. Maybe I'm still on the air. Okay, I'm on the air until 8. So once I get off the air, I will produce this commercial. I'll have it to you by 10 a.m. If you just mark it down on the piece of paper ASAP and put it in the production folder, and I go see, I might not see it till 10 a.m., 11 a.m. You're fucked. Mark says, I used to pile sugar on already sugar-loaded cereal. Who didn't? What the hell did we know when we were 10? Right. Sugar was oxygen as a 10-year-old. George says, I bought mine from a site in China for $8, free shipping, arrival in 1 week. Damn. Zach says, smart goals. Bo lives by that and mushroom coffee. I'll drink mushroom coffee ASAP. George says, I appear to be a yoga mat with golf spikes on it. That's basically what it is. I thought about just laying on top of my golf shoes. Make sure you clean them up first. You don't want to, in case they puncture you. At least the Shakti mat won't puncture your skin. The golf spikes might puncture your skin. So make sure they're clean. Brian says, people complain about eBay fees. Doing a show is about the same percent, but with work, driving, and feeding. Yeah. People, and most people don't realize you sell, and most people are looking up, well, the last one sold, or the comps are $100 on this. 12.5%, $4 for shipping. You're looking at what? 87, 82, 83 bucks net. You sell it for $100 cash on at a card show, but take into consideration you're paying $50 for a table, gas to get there, 8 hours of your day. Like, your time is worth something. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's about the same. John says we could use less organs. Porter says, good morning. Zach and Porter says, Johns County is putting their mushroom stamp on that claim. Good for them to drive commerce and hidden fees. Running Buck Woodcraft, what's going on? Joining live for the first time in a while to offer a belated congrats on 1 billion Cubs cards. Looks like you had an amazing day at Wrigley. I did, and thank you very much. Orlando is here. What's going on? Good morning. George says the healthy drink is water, but that depends on what city you live in. Yeah, not Lansing, Michigan. Do not drink the water, or in Mexico. Duke says someone was reading health advice from the April Fool's articles. Anthony Rendon is advocating 24-pitch maxes. So that was the person I was thinking of when I said, well, not everybody wants to pitch complete games. If Anthony Rendon was a pitcher, he probably wouldn't want to pitch a complete game. Max says ASAP is drop everything and get this done. That's not how I interpret it. Never been in any situation where that isn't the case. What's possible mean? What's the definition of possible? Both soon and possible are subjective words. Possible. Able to be done. Within the power or capacity of someone or something. Surely. Okay, surely it's not possible for a man to live so long. A person or thing that has the potential to become or do something, especially a potential candidate for a job or membership team. I've marked 5 possibles. Okay, that doesn't make sense either. Let's see. Possible. None of these sentences really make sense, but possible. It's a subjective word. Stu, good morning. Don Drysdale, there's the squirrel. Don Drysdale pitched 6 straight shutouts in 1968. Brian, good morning. You guys, all the cards I'm selling are automatically being removed from my active listings. And that's how it's always supposed to work. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with all this free time. I am shocked that you are manually removing your sold cards. I don't even know how that happens. I'm quite shocked by that. Sal says some knobs in California bought Sheps and are killing the IP. Woodman still has some, but the days of finding Sheps at the store are numbered. Well, that's a bummer. Michael says ASAP is as bad as my wife asking for an ETA. Yes. What's the E mean? Estimated. When I provide one, if I am 5 minutes later than the ETA, I am bitched at. Estimated. Yes. So now I just tack on an hour at least. Yes. Max says, is it possible for you to do it now? Yes. Then fucking do it. No, that's not how this works. If you need it done now, you tell me it needs to be done now. Not as soon as possible. Maddox equals complete game shutout in under 100 pitches. Greg Maddox did it 13 times in his career. Duke says ASAP means it should be the very next thing you do. So Duke and Max on the same page. Not in my book, not in Zach's book. Card Hobbyist says if you need it now, then say now, not ASAP. Thank you. Thank you. This should be a poll. Zach says, Max, this is where working for yourself unfortunately gives you less experience with people using ASAP on their own time frame. I agree with you in concept. This is why I always set time goals. Yes. Because my definition of ASAP and your definition of ASAP and Zach's definition of ASAP and Brian Wolf's definition of ASAP and Card Hobbyist, that could all mean different things based on what if I'm doing something that needs to be done ASAPer? That's not a thing, but as soon as possible, but it's more important than the other as soon as possible. And what happens when you work with other people and other people have different definitions of as soon as possible, because your as soon as possible has a different connotation as the next as soon as possible. I'm going to use real names. Jeff, Kyle. Who else was in there? We'll just use Jeff and Kyle. Actually, they never abused the system. There was Robin was one of them. Robin abused the system. She would put ASAP on everything, I think. It might have been somebody else, but who knows? We'll just say it was Robin. Robin would put ASAP on everything. It's like, when does this need to be done? Oh, it doesn't need to be done until next week. Why did you put ASAP? Well, I'd like to have it sooner, but you don't need it sooner. That's abusing the system. But other people said, I need it today. ASAP means I need it right now or today. Some ASAP means I need it done like right now. If you can do it right now, please do it right now. Because I'm going to take it over to John Nelson right now or at 10 o'clock. Some people, I need it by the end of the day. I can work my schedule around. See, there's so many. ASAP doesn't mean as soon as, because all of a sudden, if people start abusing ASAP, and that's what happened, all of a sudden I'm looking through and everything is ASAP. I've got 7 commercials to produce. The deadlines are all ASAP. But this ASAP doesn't need to be done until Tuesday. This ASAP needs to be done right now. This ASAP doesn't need to be done until tomorrow. This ASAP doesn't need to be done until this afternoon. So just put a damn deadline on it. When do you need it done? When do you truly need it done? That's why ASAP doesn't mean shit. Put a fucking deadline on it. Brian says, on another note, shocking mats are great to keep animals and lazy people off the couch. Johnny M. just ordered my mat. How long until you have a link running across as a banner? I wish you could click on the banner. John says, I've learned to hate the term async. I'll take ASAP all day long. Warrior Card says, it appears Bo is reading comments and not jumping to accusing me of drama this morning. Okay, don't be a dick, man. I was actually going to apologize to you, but now I don't care. Fucking Warrior Cards. George says, drinking water in Mexico is okay. It's just a weight loss program. Right fucking now is how my parents used to express their urgency. HBG Gaming. What's going on with scammers? I miss. We'll get to it. We're an hour and 2. We'll get to it. John says, Iceland has the best tap water in my mind. I've never been to Iceland. The soonest moment you can possibly get it done. Mark says, ASAP to some people is like my girlfriend telling me when you have the time. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, well, to me it means it doesn't need to be done. To me, ASAP doesn't have a timetable. It's like, to me, ASAP isn't important. Z&P, I worked for with other people plenty. John says, I cannot pretend to understand what Brian has been dealing with in regards to his listings. I cannot comprehend how that even happens. Enjoy the high life. You've earned it. Johnny M says, you tell me ASAP, you go to the back of the line. Johnny M is with me. Yes, that is where I am at as well. Brian says, I need that paper in 5 minutes. I need that paper ASAP tomorrow when I'm not busy. Right. John says, when someone says, I need to find a bathroom ASAP, do you get their time frame? Not really, because ASAP is, to me, ASAP, like, if they said, I need to find a bathroom ASAP, I'm like, oh, okay, I think there's one down the street. If somebody says, I need to find a bathroom ASAP or I'm going to shit my pants, then I get their time frame. I need to find a bathroom ASAP. Well, you can hold it. If I need to find a bathroom ASAP and I'm driving, like I can take a piss right now, but I can hold it for another 30 minutes. If I need to find a bathroom ASAP or I'm going to shit my pants because I just ate expired sour cream, I need to find a toilet right now. Max says, I understand where all you are coming from, but you're so wrong. ASAP equals now. It might equal now to you, but it doesn't equal now to everyone else. George says, sometimes an ASAP bathroom is a ditch on the side of the highway with a sock for teepee. Sometimes that's the case also. John says, speaking of ASAP, I have a buyer who is offended I declined their first offer. Needs an answer ASAP on his second offer. I'm using Bo's definition. Right. And guess what? eBay gives you a time length on those offers. 24 hours, 48 hours. John has say it's 24 hours. John has 24 hours to answer. That might be ASAP to John. Like I have 24 hours. I have a time period for 24 hours by eBay. And that's what the buyer, when the potential buyer submits an offer, they know this offer is good for 24 hours. And I think, can you change the offer time? I think you can, because sometimes I'll get 48-hour offers. 22 hours might be ASAP for John. I've got 24 hours. You're getting it 2 hours faster than what I need to give you. Brian says, thanks, John. I'm so glad I brought up the topic in this chat. A weight has been lifted. Neil says, how soon is ASAP? With this particular phrase, some common interpretations are that ASAP means immediately, soon, varying from within a day to within a week. It just depends. My interpretation and your interpretation are different. And if you need something done and put ASAP and you need it done now, just tell me I need it now. Don't say as soon as possible. Say I need it now. Be specific. That's why there's so many communication issues in business in every office in America and probably other countries too. Because we assume our subjective phrases are equally defined by everybody, and that's not the case. As soon as possible to me might be, well, I can get to it by the end of the day, but you need it right now. Just tell me right now. ASAP is not specific. ASAP is not specific. As soon as possible might not be until the end of the day for me. I may have a busy day. As soon as possible to you might be I need it right now. Just say I need it right now. You'll at least get bumped ahead. Maybe I can't get it. I can't get to it right now. I'm working on other things, but it'll get done at some point. As soon as possible for me. As soon as possible for me and as soon as possible for you are two completely different things. If you give me a deadline, I'll get that deadline. If I can't, I'll tell you. I can't get it to you by noon today, but I can get it to you by 3. ASAP is not specific whatsoever. It's the grayest of gray areas. It's subjective. What is soon? Soon for me might be end of day. Soon for you might be 5 minutes. That's subjective and not specific at all. Possible. Well, it's not possible for me to get it as fast as you want it. Not specific. Not specific. Where we at? John says immediately is also vague. Duke says, so this is what online arguments sound like out loud. Yeah. This is like Twitter. This is like going back and forth on Twitter. David says, when I was in the military, ASAP meant you were already late. See, I was never in the military. So, and to somebody in the military, ASAP has a completely different, like ASAP, you're late. To somebody like me that's never been in the military, I don't have so it means completely different things. That's why I like time. Be specific. I need this by noon today. Okay. And noon today for your Nelson's Clothing commercial, they're getting a lot of pub today on Hobby Evolution. That might be ASAP for me because I may be hammered with other things. It's like, ooh, noon's tight, but I'll do it because I like John Nelson. I'll get that done by noon today. Ray from Philly's in the house. Good morning. Sal Dougie says ASAP means top priority to me, but only a couple people can expect that of me. I don't use ASAP. Thank you for not using ASAP. John says Rapper Ray is here. Card Hobbyist says working in logistics will dilute the word ASAP since it is in every other email. And I think I'm jaded by ASAP because it was abused in my studios in radio by some of the salespeople. Everything was ASAP. And when everything becomes ASAP, nothing is ASAP. I worked in logistics for 8 years and I need this ASAP. Well, sometimes ASAP is just not going to work. Sometimes ASAP means, but you only want, I need this ASAP. Okay, so you want it. Okay, we can legally get this to you in 2 days. It's Chicago to Los Angeles. We can get this legally to you in 2 days. Well, I guess if you have a team of drivers, well, still, can you get that in a day? Maybe. But you're only going to pay under market prices. ASAP isn't going to work for you. ASAP or a rush? LOL. A rush. Okay, in the mortgage business, they never close. No rushes for me. Max says, just move on. Just fucking move on. Jesus Christ. I actually interpret and carry out ASAP as when I get around to it. That's how I interpret it. Michael Renicky, better would be I need this ASAP no later than. Thank you. Thank you. As long as there's a deadline in there, because then I know when it needs to be done. Bink says, my boss is ASAP. ASAP. But good morning, Big Scott. John links a Google Doc. I don't know what that's for. ASAP is like I'm ordering you to do it right now. Nope, back of the line. Card hobbyist gets to the root of the problem. Amazon is screwing up ASAP. Bo will get on topic ASAP. We're going to talk about scammers. I'm changing to I need this Prime. Right. I need my 99-cent baseball card tomorrow. ASAP from boss greater than ASAP from sales department and a buyer on eBay. Amen to that. If my boss, that's the Google Doc for the Baseball Card Hall of Fame ballot. If my boss came in, say I was in radio and the general manager comes in and I'm like, hey, and there's usually, if the boss is asking for it, there's usually context. And it's not just I'm picking up a piece of paper that says ASAP on it. Boss comes up and says, I have a meeting with John Nelson and I need this ASAP. That's going to hold a little more weight than Robin in the sales department putting ASAP on a commercial. So there's the link. That's the link to the Baseball Card Hall of Fame ballot. Let's talk about scammers. Before one last comment on ASAP, though. Brian Wolf says Bo's shipping speed is listed as ASAP. Right, because my shipping speed, I'm going to get to it. You may, it may not be as fast. I'm going to beat the deadline that eBay gives me, but it's not going to be fast enough for some. Most though can wait 3 business days for their 99-cent Topps Heritage card. TLC Investments. I need to sell my card ASAP. Thanks for buying them. Scammers are so nice. So beware of scammers. So we had an unfortunate incident on Facebook yesterday in our Hobby Evolution Facebook page. First off, I want to say this is why I don't want transactions on Hobby Evolution Facebook. I want to use the Hobby Evolution Facebook group to help each other with eBay issues. Somebody had mentioned shipping labels yesterday, which I thought my computer sucks in the shipping room and it always resets shit and it annoys the crap out of me. But it wasn't my computer. First time, it wasn't my computer. Somebody said, hey, my shipping label, the size is off. And so I thought it was my computer, so I reset the size. So we realized it wasn't just us. It was an eBay issue. So that's what we like the Hobby Evolution Facebook group for. We help each other out. I don't want to get into, we can share our eBay store links, but eBay, we have safety guards when we do our purchases. If you do buy, sell, trade within the Hobby Evolution Facebook group, there are no safeguards. John, thank you for being an admin on the Hobby Evolution Facebook page. I'm an admin. I don't want to get tagged into drama. There's 2 rules to Hobby Evolution. No dicks. What's the other one? No drama. No dicks and no drama. We had drama yesterday. I don't want drama. I don't want to get dragged into this bullshit. That's why I don't want to do transactions and sales and stuff like that on the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. Todd McCown. And here's another reason. We don't fully vet people because it's not a marketplace. Hobby Evolution is not a marketplace. We don't want to get dragged into this shit. And we don't fully vet people that come into the group. Now, if we look, I think John probably does the same as I do. If it looks legit, sometimes I'll see somebody wanting to get in and they have like 6 friends and their account's been open for 3 days. They're not getting into the freaking group because it's just one of those scammers. But if they're in other Facebook groups, like, oh, this is legit. They have a lot of friends on Facebook. They are in baseball card groups. We'll let them in. Well, Todd McCown came in and apparently took some money from another member to do some artwork and hasn't followed through. And he's given all the excuses in the books. And he's using all the typical scammer language. I'd actually reached out to him. By the way, we booted him. He banned him from the group. Hopefully he does follow through with at least one deal that he's currently doing. Todd says, I'm in conversation with him. I told him I'm just trying to come up with the shipping cost. Times are tough right now for me, but I will get them out. That's Scammer Talk 101. Times are tough. He took a deposit on this freaking work. Well, you should have plenty of money to cover the shipping costs because you took his money. You took some of his money up front. Not only is he a scammer, but he's a bad business person. They go hand in hand. Warrior Card says he was trying to nip it quick, not trying to cause drama. So I got pissed because I got dragged into it. The reason I think I got pissed because I don't want shit like this happening. And that's why I don't want transactions going. But also, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I got pissy with Warrior Cards because it's like I'm blindsided. John and I are blindsided by this guy's a scammer. Did he scam you? Like, give me some context. Like saying, I need this done ASAP. Like, what the fuck's going on? And try to get it out. Like, well, tell me what's going on. Who is getting scammed? Do you have any proof? What the fuck is going on? That's why I was getting pissy. And it was being dramatic because it's just like, well, people told me. Who told you? Why didn't they tell us? We will take care of it, but we need details. So please, if something happens, reach out and be specific. Tell us what the fuck's going on. So that's why I was pissy last night. So we took care of Todd. So hopefully nobody did any deals. I posted something on there about if anybody's done anything. It sounded like a couple people were in talks. He sounded scammy. Again, it doesn't matter. Hobby Evolution, there is no safe space on the internet. Pay with goods and services. Doesn't matter. Well, it's Hobby Evolution. It's a bunch of people just like me. No, there could be Todd McCowns in the group. So pay with good goods and services on PayPal. At least you're protected. You know, if there's scammy language, oh, times are tough. I need some help. Like, that's Scammer 101. Scammer 101. Be aware. Trust your gut. Like, that's the two best ways to avoid scammers. Anywhere. Trust your gut, number one. Number two, pay with goods and services. Never pay with friends and family. I pay my friends goods and services. My friends pay me goods and services. If they insist on friends and family, send it friends and, well, they can't because I have a business account. So nothing to me comes friends and family. But before, when you had the option, I'm like, send it to me goods and services. That way you're protected. You can never be too careful. Well, I've done deals in the past. How many times have you seen a scammer comment, well, I've done multiple deals with him, and all of a sudden, that's how they operate. They build trust. Scammers try to build trust. Some of them, like Todd, are just morons. And they don't even try to build trust. They just come at you hot and heavy. I'm going to scam you. So be cautious anywhere. I don't want deals on the Hobby Evolution Facebook group for that reason. Fortunately, we went, a year before we had any issues. I think that's pretty good. Also, if you want to do side deals, if two members are in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group, you chat back and forth and you do it. I don't care. Don't drag John and I into it. If you meet through Hobby Evolution, that's great, but we are not taking responsibility for any of your transactions. So if you do want to do transactions, Just holy freaking geese right there. What are you doing out there? See? Oh, look, a squirrel. The wildlife is active this morning. I got my squirrels, I got my grosbeaks, I got my geese. Just missing Donald Daisy Duck. So if you do trade, you can do whatever you want to do. You can do what you want to do, but just pay goods and services and be careful. All right, let's go into the chat. Let's see. Mikey's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Value Box Digger, what's up? Honestly, Hobby Evolution has been totally fine without trading, selling, buying. And that we want to keep it that way because the group is meant to just hang out. It's a safe space. We want it a safe space. We don't want Todd McCown's fucking our shit up, ruining a good thing. So we don't need trading, selling, buying. If you feel comfortable with another member and like, hey, let's do inventory. Like, hey, I've got inventory. If you meet that way, just be careful. Like, even if you trust them and like, just protect yourself. Pay goods and services. That way, if they're being shithead, just be like, okay, I'm going to go to PayPal and we're going to just do this the hard way. Bing Scott says, kick that scammer out of the group. Stat, he's gone. He's gone. John said he's gone. John booted him last night. He's banned. Warrior Cards, not trying to cause drama. Ray from Philly says, if the glove don't fit, you can't acquit. Corey says, 16 likes. Let's make it happen. Hit ASAP. Hit that like button ASAP, guys. Hit it ASAP. Todd McClown is right. So I see this, and I did a simple Facebook search. Again, John and I don't screen members because because we're not a marketplace. We don't have any reason. And I hope everybody, takes proper precautions if somebody reaches out and says, hey, I did a Facebook search on Todd McCown, and he's a pretty elaborate scam. Like, he's been working Facebook groups since like 2019. Like, Jesus Christ. There was one, I mean, just Facebook his name. There are also, by the way, if you're in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group, you are on Facebook. So check out the various, the sports card scammer tracker. This was May 2022. I've been trying to collect the promised cards, a refund, replacement cards, or even details from his USPS claim for over a year. He's always in the hospital, sick, or any other excuse under the sun. Classic scammer behavior. He won't provide the itemized list of what was all sent. He won't send me documentation, blah, 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 blah. So there's 101 comments, and guess what? Most of them are, let's see. Here's another one. I had an issue with him. Here's another one. The admin says he's been on the list since 2019. And I noticed this in our Hobby Evolution Facebook. He tried to run a paid fantasy baseball league. Apparently he's done this in the past. Brandon from the Scammer Tracker said, ran a fantasy baseball league that me and a bunch of card room guys were in. I took second. He played till the end. Then when he wasn't going to win, suddenly there was no money for payouts. Ultimately, the $200 for me wasn't worth the hassle, so I just told him to get his shit together and that I hope the $200 would help get his family's stuff straight and health right. So, Todd McCown, don't do any deals with him. Todd McClown is right. Todd McClown. Let's see. Andy Mack says, yeah, Todd's getting that artwork done ASAP. See, his ASAP is like my ASAP. Like, yeah, I'll get to it. Brian says, found 3 more cards my photographer friend shot. 24 Heritage, Andrew Abbott, Spencer Steer, and Christian Encarnacion Strand. Very cool. Mark says, hey, Ray, loved your interview with Dr. Beckett. Yes, I saw that pop up on my YouTube page. Going to have to tune into that. The first 2 comments in the thread were both about him screwing them. But there was no context. There was no context. This is why. So I get tagged into this. Let's see. Where are we at? can't find it. Recently seen. Where's Todd McClown at? Here it is. So Brian said, hey, Todd, did you send those cards? That could have been a deal they made the day of. Like, that means nothing to me. Hey, Todd, did you send those cards? What does that mean? That means nothing to me. And then the other one was, is that to the round wooden table that you supposedly have done my artwork on, only 3 weeks behind what you told me? And then your comment. So, but neither of those people reached out to me. I didn't feel it was important. If it was important, they would have reached out to John or I. John says it may sound strange, but Bo and I don't read all of the posts. That is also accurate and correct. And there was nothing in my DMs about any scammy behavior. Todd's at Guantanamo as we speak. Brian says he tries to collect the cards that he shot. I already sold my strand. Does anyone have an extra base they would be willing to rack? Let's see. There we go. Social engineering at its best. John says, I think my parents were scamming me. They were friendly at first. Bing Scott says, can we cut a deal here on this live stream? Friends and family only. Trust me. Does stat mean sometime after today? Yes, absolutely. It's like EOD means end of December. What movie was that from? I find that hilarious. Oh, I think it was one of those comedian. It was like a TikTok or something or Instagram reel. Value Box Digger says Zach and Porter sitting back sipping their coffee saying, yep, glad we don't got Facebook. There you go. TLC Investments, thanks for the purchase on Sunday. Hope you're well. What did I purchase on Sunday? I know I purchased a couple things. Oh, was it? Somebody came in and bought a lot of Heritage from my store. Thank you. Nope, got an offer on the Juju Watkins. Oh, it's a low ball. Let's see, purchases. What did I buy Sunday? What day was Sunday? I bought a few things on Sunday. No, I only bought 2 things. Did I buy the necklace from you? Or did I buy the Fernando Cruz? What's the name on that? I bought 2 things. I bought a Fernando Cruz Leaf Auto and a one-touch necklace for mine. I think that was showed delivered today. So let's see. John says if Zach tries to join the group, then he'd be declined since his profile would be created recently. See? Cautionary tales are needed to keep us honest. Ray and Dr. Jim may be perfect content. Harlan says he tried to run a fantasy baseball league in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. Don't think it got off the ground. Thankfully, it looked like it did not. I think only one person had tried to get in. Zach says, I don't plan on joining the Hobby Evolution Facebook page ASAP. Charlie's in the house. He says, ASAP, a goose flying onto my roof. ASAP gives a sense of urgency, but people don't realize there is more than just themselves saying ASAP. Yes, thank you. To the same person, so we have competing requests for ASAP, so nothing gets done immediately now. Thank you, Charlie. Put it a little more clearly than how I said it, because all of a sudden it's abused. It's like PayPal fees. You're abusing PayPal by using friends and family all the time. Bo buying artwork on Sunday. Let's see. TLC Investment says it was a personal delivery. Oh! Now I gotcha. Yes. And I listed a bunch of stuff. This is Tim. I'm like, who's TLC? I only bought 2 things on eBay. This is Tim. Tim was over. That's where I bought all the stuff. By the way, and I don't know if you watched yesterday, but I said I was going through the stuff, and it's even like, and I told you on Sunday when you were here, like it's a lot better than what I was expecting. And then I was going through a box yesterday. There were 3 first Bowman Chrome Jackson holidays that I like, oh, hey, this is, $15, $20 a pop here. There was some good stuff. I'm like, a personal delivery? It's Tim. Brian says, my neighborhood is having a rummage sale in a couple months. I would like to sell some 800 count boxes of cards. What would be a good price? I'd say $20. I think $20. 30 is a little too high. And depending on what if it's a bunch of 91 Fleer, I'd say just give them away. But 800 count boxes, I'd say like $20. $20. Do you need tables? I'll rent out tables. I was actually, when I was setting up tables in the garage on Sunday, I'm like, I could have a garage sale. I'm like, now I need to look up when the neighborhood garage sale is. All I have is cards though. It's like, what else am I going to sell? So I'm like, I could have a big garage sale. I can fill this whole driveway with my card show tables. What was this? Bo says, what day was Sunday? Well, I was trying to think of what I bought Sunday. Let's see. There you go. Where are we at? Bo and urgency will never intersect in this world. Tim's laughing. Typical Bo, he forgets. It wasn't a million. How many? I don't even know how many cards was there. I mean, it was a significant amount. There were 40,000 cards. Tim did not disappoint. Good stuff in those boxes. Brian does not need tables. Porter says, I don't disappoint. But this is post transaction. And we've done deals in person. 800 count at a garage sale for 20. Don't bother. 10 or less. Well, see, if you put 10, you're going to get $5 offers. So if you put 20, you'll get $10. Nobody pays full price at a garage sale. So $20, because everybody's going to say, would you do 10? And I'd probably take 10. Value Box Digger says, garage sale selling, I'd say put the cards smaller, the better, so the price can be smaller for kids with parents. Parents won't spend $20. They'll spend it. That's a really good point. You can do 800 count boxes, put $20 price tag on. But then make like little packs for $1. Because I bet you will sell. I bet you make more money selling dollar packs, 20 cards in a pack in a team bag, than what you would. Like, I bet you won't sell a single 800 count box. Now I'm curious. When's your garage sale? I'm curious. John says penny a card, $8. Brian says you can compete with that guy in Sun Prairie for best card garage sale. I didn't realize there was a card garage sale in Sun Prairie. George says I'm going half a penny, $4. I love the reverse auction. I'll pay $3 net to you. Plenty pay full price at garage sales. One of the guys upstairs in Madison, his table looks like a garage. That's John. That's Groob. If someone is paying full price, then you've underpriced. That is true. If people are paying full price at a garage sale, you're underpriced. Floyd's in the house. Will the White Sox win more games than the Bulls and Hawks win combined? Yikes. Just random dollar packs or teams? I'd say just random, but I don't know. Do Brewers. Brewers and Packers if you have them. Otherwise, just random. Porter says the final straw to me breaking contact with Todd was when he told me he was in Cali. Nope, blocked, LOL. Yep. Classic scammer talk. Hospital. My wife mailed it. I'm in Cali, or name a place. Or does he? I think he might live in Cali. And I don't think many people that live in Cali call it Cali. I think that's like what the rest of us call it. An average buyer would realize the cards are worth $0 to you, which is why they are in your rummage sale. Brian said, yes, you did. That guy who used to own an LCS now just sells out of his garage. Oh, Wanakee. Tom and Wanakee. Random packs, my opinion. Try to stick to sport. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way. Plus, you don't have to sort. I mean, you're putting $1 a pack on it, so no need to spend any time on it. Bears might win more games than the Sox. Amen to that. Max says, I've seen some crazy buys at garage sales with cards. A box full I wouldn't have paid $10 for. I sat down and bought it for $250. I don't go to enough garage sales. When I do, I see it's like, yeah. I did drive to Milwaukee. For a garage sale because the guy had a bunch of wrestling stuff, like really cool, like wrestling stuff. And I ended up buying. The funny thing is his cards were way overpriced. And here's the thing. So he had WWF magazines from the mid 90s with the cards still in them. And I think I ended up getting them for like I think he had $5 a piece for them. And I ended up buying a whole bunch of them. I paid $3 or $4 a piece for them. I probably netted $3 or $4 a piece on the magazines after I got the cards out, and the cards sell for $3 or $4 a piece, some even more, some 10, some 20, depending on which card it is. There's the duck. The duck is here. All of the wildlife has come and visited this morning. The birds, the geese, just a duck, very pretty duck too, and the squirrel. He's hanging out in the rocks. Oh, he's looking in the window. Quack, 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 quack. What was I talking about? Let's see. Oh, Todd's with us. Todd McClown. What's going on? The scammer is here. And he even created a new YouTube account, FU Bo. Don't come into my group and scam people. He's going to sue me for slander. Bro, you can't afford shipping. How are you going to afford an attorney? Get the fuck out of here. Who's got a wrench? Block this guy, motherfucker. Here I am trying to enjoy my coffee and watch my duck, and this asshole comes in. Let's see. Where are we at? Andy Max says a person's interpretation of ASAP is directly correlated to your position and or how much money you spend with that business. Value Box Digger says a decade ago, I bought a truckload for $20 at a garage sale. Nobody wanted the junk era. Them 8 Jeter SP rookies in his retirement year were hotcakes on eBay. I love those finds. Let's see. Max says, I'm pretty sure I was actually at the same one in Milwaukee. Prices were dumb. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. So the wrestling cards, I made good money on the wrestling cards. Then he had the magazines. Then he had cards, and he was like overpriced. And I checked comps, and I'm like, he's above like eBay comps. And so I'm like, what would you do if I bought this whole box of wrestling cards? And he like gave like it was still like slightly below eBay, slightly. And I'm like, okay. So that we got to talking, and he's like, Marvel card. Like I'm into Marvel cards, and at that time, I had one of the Goodwill pallets had a bunch of Marvel cards. And I said I've got a whole bunch of Marvel cards, and I told him, I think when I got home I sent him pictures, and he's like, yeah, I do 100 in trade on those Marvel cards. Well, they ended up selling. I ended up like, we didn't do the deal. I'm like, no, I'm not. He wanted a crazy amount for the wrestling cards. He wanted higher than comps on his wrestling cards, and then he was offering me lower than comps on the Marvel, and I'm like, come on, man. So we didn't do the deal. So I ended up selling the Marvel cards for like $300 on eBay. Max says, take your meds. Brian says your backyard wildlife might rival mine. You definitely have more waterfowl. Well, we got the pond in the back. So the duck comes up and hangs out, looks in the, can't be Todd. He said you instead of you. Brian says this just turned into must-see TV. It was nice. I'm glad Todd came to visit. Unicorn Cupcake, he chose a creative name. He sure did. Billy Joe says, Bo like a little league outfielder. Oh, look, I'm picking dandelions this morning. Brian says, that was me and T-ball. No one could hit into the outfield, so I would just pick dandelions in right field. John says, I sell a lot of 1990 Impel Marvel penny purchase and they sell for 300x. Alrighty, hit the like button unless you're Todd. You just get the hell out of here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, shop my eBay store. I should probably find out what Todd's eBay name is so I can block him on eBay also. Like, subscribe, shop my eBay store. Hobby Evolution on Facebook, except for Todd. Todd's not invited. Have a great day. What else? Tomorrow's Thursday. We're gonna do NFL mock draft tomorrow. So if you're into mock drafts, you might like it. If you don't care about the NFL draft tomorrow, Max probably doesn't give a shit. Max is probably gonna bitch tomorrow morning when we talk about the NFL draft. So we'll do the NFL draft special. NFL draft is tomorrow night. We'll do that 7 a.m. Central. Friday, we'll do the free-for-all. I don't have any card shows planned this weekend, so we will go live Saturday and Sunday. Brian says, I still have that Swanson refractor. Let's hang out soon. Yeah, maybe next week. Let's see. John says, Bo's going to need a Schwitz after this. We definitely need his eBay name. Yes, we do. Reggie Bush getting his Heisman back. Oh, that's good. He deserves it back. Max says, you know me too well. If anyone needs Cali artwork, then HMU, hit me up. I predict the Jets will make a bad pick. They could make a great pick, and Jets fans will think it's a bad pick. Let's give Andrew Jackson his statue back, too. All righty. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.